we had a bit of a hectic ending to last week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Had a episode director quit.
Mm-hmm.
Aoi's just like freaking out and panicking.
You blame her?
No. But she had a shining light return to save the day for her at the very end of the episode. And now we're going to continue on from that.
Yay.
Here on Jared Now Watch SHIROBAKO. It's episode number 19. I'm Jared, that is Doc Alley and Ladium.
Hello.
And we are discussing episode number 19 called Did You Catch Any? Well, did you?
I mean, you've been catching a lot.
Gotta catch them all.
Mm-hmm.
Gumba Ruby.
Goodbye, Ruby.
That is a reference that like only us are going to get.
It's true.
This is the audience of people who understand that.
Whoops.
So yeah, Erica has returned. Her father has recovered, so she is now back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And she has come at the right time for Aoi to be like, "Oh God, I need help." And she's like, "Hello, I'm here to help." So she takes her to the roof of Musashino, and they kind of talks to her, gets the lay down of like what's happened. So she's been gone and everything. And Aoi's like, "Hey, you wanna take my job? Be the production desk, please. I've been messing everything up." And Erica's like, "All right, look. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You look like shit.
Yep.
Go home. Go sleep.
Go home and be a family man.
You need to do that, and then come back tomorrow and see if like you just have like a clear head. And, we'll come up with a plan tomorrow. But for now, get out of here. Go.
Bye.
I want to throw you out myself." So she goes home. She gives Aoi like a candle to help her sleep. All that stuff. She leaves it lit overnight, which is dangerous. Don't do that.
But it works.
Kids, do not do that.
Yeah, don't do this at home.
Do not try this at home. She comes back in the next morning and is a little bit better. She feels relieved of some stuff. She got some rest. And basically her and Erica and Watanabe and the rest of the production team come up with a plan in order to deal with the issues that have occurred with Studio Titanic, which a lot of it is basically Erica's like, "I'm going to go hole up there and work with them and basically make sure they're on track for what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, I will whip them into shape." She goes up there with Hiraoka, your favorite character so far, who we learn that they are both acquainted with each other as they talk on the drive over there. And she basically kind of gives him a little like rundown, like, "You got to stop being an what the are you doing?"
Yeah, he sucks. I don't like him. He needs to quit. I mean, not the studio, just being a butt.
So yeah, she basically kind of like runs him down for that. She holds up at Studio Titanic for a bit. She finds a new episode director by the name of Hiroshi Iketane. Just some dude that she's acquainted with. It's probably a parody off of someone actually in the industry. I don't know who exactly, because there used to be like there used to be a list of like, here's who all these people were in this show, but I don't know what that is anymore. So probably someone, most likely. And this guy is basically just known for just like just leaving, finding ways to escape. She like goes to talk to him, and he's like fishing on a roof,
which is really funny.
It's really good. While all that's going down, the Prez takes Aoi over to the old Musashino studio, where they was formerly Musashino Pictures. And they kind of like just go through things. Like he had to go and like grab some stuff, and takes her along to kind of like get a little bit of a history lesson. And do you remember when I said, hey, the president would get a backstory dump sometime in this series? This is where it is.
This is it.
As we get like a big little like rundown of like, the old days, because I was like, man, I bet it was so much easier back in the day, at the old days, where you didn't have to like crunch and everything, and everyone was like very just relaxed and everything. He's like, about that. She also learns that they made Ondas Chucky, which is like one of her favorite shows, and you get like a big like whole backstory of like them going through like one of the episodes And the creation of that. You see like the president was like just a production assistant who kind of just like helped out everywhere he could. He looks just like a 60s hippie, even though this would be clearly the 70s.
Yeah.
You see some familiar faces as well that work there. Like Sugi is there, but he's much younger. The dude they had to find to do the one art scene is there, and you see like his first like big break, where he paints his background for a blizzard, and the actual art director for that scene is like, "Who did this? Why would you let someone do this?" He's like, "I did it. I was in a blizzard once, almost died. This is what I saw." And they're like, "Okay,"
which is wild.
Mm-hmm. And basically you kind of see just like how like the parallels between the industry back then and how it is kind of still today, where even though like technology has made production so much like a little bit more efficient, and there's like different ways to do things, but essentially, you know, it's still the whole idea of like, you know, you have to come together through thick and thin. You have to work through very stressful situations and find commonality between, you know, production and all the other different departments within a studio to make sure a show just gets off the ground and is made, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a bunch of that, and then Aoi kind of like learns a little bit about the history of Musashino and everything, and just how everything was and how it's very much still pretty much essentially the same, and you know how eventually this version of Musashino went out of business and everyone kind of went their separate ways until the president made this new version of Musashino, and is kind of like, you know, works with like people he knew basically back then.
Right. But we also get more of the Chucky anime, and it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I really
so
like how PA Works is able to basically make that the anime they're making within an anime, just have the look and feel of something that's like old.
Right.
Which is like, it's probably something like it's much harder to do than what you would think, like making like digital versions of like artifacting, or not artifacting, but just like film burn-in, film scratching, and all that sort of stuff.
Well, and even just the style too. Like
yeah.
The style itself is aged, but it looks
Mm-hmm.
great.
Like they do like the ending for this episode is basically the opening for what that show would be, and like the title card just has that old feeling of like a 60s or 70s anime of like what the title cards would look like for that, and it works so well.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it, and I'm like, I want a whole anime of this. But they won't let me have a whole anime of that.
Mm-hmm.
Rude. So rude.
So yeah, Aoi watches like an old scene from the show, and it inspires her to keep on keeping on. There we go. Igatane goes to a director meeting at Musashino because like Erica tells him, "Hey, you'd have to be here an hour early," so he like shows up an hour late, but he was actually on time.
Yep.
She's like, "I told him he would be here an hour early, and he showed up on time."
Because he's like, oh, my
stomach hurts. Can I not go? She's like, "No, you have to go. Come on." He's like, "Okay." And then Aoi talks to Akura, who finally returned from his excursion, where he was off like he went to like some other like part of the country to go paint this like specific part of the country, because like it was exactly like what he needed to paint the specific scene they wanted from him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Here we go." And she's like, "Oh, this is really good. I get kind of now why you had to leave halfway across the country now." So they got all that squared away, and now things are on the up and up and looking pretty all right.
Yeah, except for he was creepy.
He's a creep.
Bleh.
Bleh.
I don't like it when people are creepy.
But things are looking good.
Yeah, and you keep making me nervous about that.
I will like, so like, you know, we've watched through 3 episodes for this little chunk we're doing right now. But essentially there is one more episode where things get real bad. And we have 3 episodes left. Not in this from this recording per se, but like from the episodes we've watched, we have 3 episodes left. So
right,
can't all be smooth sailing to the end.
You're making me so nervous.
But that's gonna do it for this episode.
Yep.
So if you'd like more from us, go to seasonlanguagecheckup.com, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Season Language Checkup, Season Language Checkup OVA. You can find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from my ladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. And you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. So join us next time when we will be discussing episode 20, entitled I'll Do My Best Mustang. Or Ganbare Mustang.
Nice.